Hi, welcome to our Flow and Restore together. If we've never met before, I am Dom. So excited to be here with you today for your practice. Few things you're going to need. The way that the class works is that half of the class is spent flowing, getting a little more mobility happening in the body, and then the second half of the class is restorative. So to build the most luxurious shapes for ourselves, you're going to need a few props. So if you can grab some pillows and blankets, towels even of various sizes. Our shape today is going to be pretty simple. It's going to be a shavasana that has a few different supports for behind the head and shoulders, for underneath the knees, and then for the ankles. So it's not going to be terribly intricate to build, but you definitely want to make sure you have options. So I'm going to pop these out of the way, and you are welcome to start collecting your own little arsenal of props or your own little collection of props. And it's always a nice idea to hang on to a pillow or a blanket to help with sitting a little higher upright if that feels good for you. Okay, good. Just had a quick moment where I was like, maybe the mic's not working either. So as you're ready, I'm going to grab a pillow for myself too. We're going to meet cross-legged. And now that can mean many different things. That could mean maybe you're kneeling, maybe you're standing, maybe you really need to start your practice lying down today, like truly whatever feels good for you and your body. And having a little bit of a booster seat underneath you, maybe starting to close the eyes, bring the eyes down. Taking a nice big breath in through the nose. And exhaling, let's sigh it out through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling it out. We're going to add a little bit of movement to this. Hands placed on our knees. As we inhale, can we roll the shoulders back, lengthen up through the chest like we're doing a seated cow belly. And then as we, as we breathe out, scooping and hollowing, using your hands for resistance as you take that melting back. Inhaling to draw your chest forward and up. Exhaling, scoop and round it back. Inhaling to lengthen, initiating from the pelvis, the tail as we open up. Exhaling, scoop it back. One more time. Inhale to lengthen and open. Exhaling to scoop and round. Can we bring ourselves upright? And we're going to make this into a little bit more of a circular breathing shape. So inhale to bring ourselves forward, maybe sliding the ribs around to the right, finding yourself behind as you breathe out, circle your ribs to the left, bringing them forward again. Using an inhale to take you halfway around your circle, and then an exhale for that second side of that circle. And as we start to feel a little more mobile in this space, consider letting the effects sort of ripple. So instead of trying to keep it really isolated, what happens when we lean to the right, that left leg maybe lifts up. As you scoop back, maybe your knees want to pop up, and then opposite around. And can we make this circulation not just an isolated thing, but something that affects the whole body? One more here. Pausing when you arrive to the front, let's go the other way. So changing the inhale, changing the inhale, changing the direction, and then exhaling around. And can we use this movement, this reaction of movement in our body as leverage? So maybe you can pull on those knees a little bit, round them more. Maybe you push the legs away as you bring yourself down. Always moving with kindness and curiosity though, yeah? Never sort of moving something where it doesn't really want to go. If we have to force it, then maybe it's just not interested in being there. Circling it around. Nice and juicy. One more time. Inhaling. And exhaling, making your way all the way around to center. Let's pause at center again, seeing if we can stack those vertebrae up nice and tall. Can you inhale, your left arm comes up. As we exhale, taking a side bend over to the right. Taking an inhale into the side body there, exhaling to bring it all the way up. Maybe your second arm comes with you. And then let's take that side bend the other direction, left hand down. Little side bend over to the left. Inhaling brings you up. You can start to sweep those arms, exhaling, side bend over. Inhaling to stay. Exhale to bring yourself up. You pass all the way through. Take an inhale in that side bend and exhaling it up and over. So our theme today really being about exploring curiosity in our movement, exploring simplicity and the detail within the simplicity, and trusting that our bodies know where they're going. There's a divine intelligence that exists that sometimes we can't always see so clearly because we're just the meat suit in the body. We're supporting the body. Bringing yourself all the way up. Let's take that side bend over to the left, and then let's just pause there. So really feeling maybe now a sensation of rooting down through that right hip. Can we try to draw our bellies in as we lengthen our torso up and over? So it's more of a rainbow versus like a squishy, like a silly putty ball moment. Taking one more breath in here as we breathe out, bring ourselves all the way up, taking ourselves to the opposite side. And again, thinking up and over, making it more of an arc shape as we move here. Keeping that left hip bone seated, taking that stretch one more time, breathing it in. As we breathe out, bring ourselves all the way out. Can we give the shoulders a little roll? And then can we give our arms a bit of a shake? All the way up overhead. Maybe it ripples down and then it goes out beside us. Maybe the shaking starts to ripple up in your shoulders. Can you think about that sternum bone right in the center of your chest? And can you wiggle all of the tissues that are connected to the center of your chest? Can you make that wiggle too? Your voice might start to go funny. Maybe we pick it up a little bit. Maybe your hands start to get to go in all different directions. We're like, woo, having a bit of a party over here. And then let's settle. Feeling how that energy has moved in our bodies. Maybe you kind of want to giggle. I pretty much always kind of want to giggle. And if you'd like to set an intention for your practice, now that we've sort of gotten the juju flowing, please feel free to set it now. Can we take an inhale all together through the nose? Exhale, side out through your mouth. Making your way forward onto hands and knees. Na, 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 na. Taking that energy with us. So we're going to do a little bit of like a slidey, crouchy experience here. So tucking through your toes. Now, fabric makes it look like I'm really sinking into my low back, when in fact, I'm really thinking about the structure of a plank. So starting to draw those ribs down and in, pelvic floor's drawing up, and I'm long through my pelvis. Yeah, I'm not super rounded here. Pushing that floor away. My toes are tucked. We're going to give ourselves a bit of a toe stretch here. So taking a breath in as you breathe out, can you bring yourself back, sitting your bum towards your toes? Maybe feel a bit of a stretch through those feet. Inhaling to spring it forward, and then exhaling to take it back. Inhaling to spring forward, exhaling to take it back. Inhaling it forward, and then exhaling it back. Now, as we start to build here, we're exploring the placement of weight on our wrists, of the work through our arms, of the support through our belly. And there's this sort of little like spring action where you fire through your glutes. And let's imagine that that's what brings us forward. Like, I went through a really intense phase of watching all of the Fast and Furious movies. And you know, when they go 3, 2, 1, and then they like hit the gas and they go, or they hit, is it NOS, that like fuel tank? Imagine your glutes are like that NOS button where they just shoot you forward. Inhaling back, exhaling forward. Now, if you'd like to start to up the ante here, you're always welcome to add a crouch of the knees hover, and then they come forward, and then they crouch back, and then they come forward, and then they come back, which is much more weight bearing on those wrists. So you have to make sure you're pushing the floor down. You definitely have more core supporting you here. You're sort of in a hovered kneel at the top. And then if you'd like to up the ante from there, you're welcome to step back and find a downward dog into a plank. Lifting up and back, squeeze it forward. But remember that initiation is always happening from your glutes. So keep going with what you've picked. Remember, you can have a downward dog to a plank. You could be knee hovered and bring it forward. You could be knees down and bring it forward. Let's go for 4. For 3, you could also totally do a kneeling to a plank. 2. Last 1, can you come forward and then pause wherever you are? Maybe knees are down. Maybe find a kneeling plank. Maybe find a full plank. For 5, for 4, for 3, For 2. Last one, wherever you are, consider lifting those hips up and back, finding your version of a downward dog together. Inhaling here through the nose, please. Exhaling it out. And know that I say through the nose lightly because I happen to have terrible allergies right now. And so breathing through the nose is not always an option. So wherever you need to breathe, breathe. Can we all lift our heels up? Feel like we're really pushing the floor. We're lengthening through our tail, drawing our ribs in. Can we bend through those knees and then plant the heels down? Now, keeping the structure of your pelvis, you're just going to work towards straightening those legs. Lift your heels up. Bending through your knees, starting to lengthen through the heels, lengthen through the legs. Lift the heels up, bending through the knees, starting to lower the heels as we straighten the legs. 2 more. Lift your heels up, bend your knees down. If you are on hands and knees for wrist or elbow, shoulder issues, please feel free to just work your way through some cat-cow here. Last one, take a big breath in. Lifting through the heels, bend your knees, look forward as you breathe out. Make your way wherever you are towards the top of your mat. Give your arms a little bit of a zhuzh to bring some heat into this. And then can we give the backs of our legs a little rub through the calves, through the hamstrings, through the glutes. If you're joining on Instagram, I apologize. My usual filming tech was not working for me today, so I had to improvise. So the quality isn't as awesome, but the class is still great. Take an inhale, lengthen out halfway. Exhale to melt it forward. Let's do that again. Inhale, can we bring in this rippling experience that we created when we were seated? 2 more. Inhale. Remember those glutes are like your bottom or your button, to bring you into movement. 1 more time. Inhale to lengthen up and out. Exhale it down. Take a pause. Maybe give your head a little circling. Generous bend in the knees, pushing your feet through the floor as you roll yourself all the way up to standing. Give those shoulders a nice roll on your back. Inhale to sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale down through heart center. Hands come to hips. 2 more. Inhale, big sweeping gesture up. Exhale to guide them down. 1 more time. Inhale to sweep it up. Exhale down and then pause. Feeling your feet pressing into the floor. Now, without looking at them, not looking at them, can you press just your big toe mounds into the floor? And then let that, actually, no, let's keep that. And then can you press, don't look though, just your pinky toe mounds, just your pinky toe. So you have big toe, you have pinky toe, pushing, but we're not looking. Can you open the rest, all of your middle toesies, spread them wide, and then plant those down and feel this beautiful connection, this beautiful rooting into the ground. Using the roots to continue our growth, our journey, our dance. Inhale to sweep the arms up. Exhale to bring it forward and down. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale to melt it forward. You're going to step back to your plank of choice. That could be hands and feet. That could be knees. It could be your knees right underneath you. Taking a breath in to be here now. Can we push the floor away? Take a breath out. Can you keep firing up through your belly? Fire through those glutes. And then can you turn on all the muscles of your arms? Look at your arms and be like, I'm going to squeeze them. I'm using my brain to squeeze those muscles of my arms. Take 1 more breath in, and then as you breathe out, let's draw the chest forward. Let's keep the collarbones wide, placing ourselves on the floor. Right, taking pedicure side of your feet down. Inhale to lengthen up just through the chest. Exhale to melt it down. Let's keep this nice and small. 2 more. Inhale to lengthen it up. Exhale to melt it down. 1 more time. Inhale to lengthen it up. Exhaling it down. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, can you push, worm, however you want to get yourself up to your version of a downward dog? And again, it could be more of like a shell stretch shape. It could be more of a hands and knees shape, whatever makes sense for you. As you inhale, can you reach your right leg up towards the ceiling? As we exhale, let's bend our knee. Let's start to open that hip. So it's like you're trying to tap your knee up towards the ceiling. Maybe there's a little bend in the left leg, but no negotiation of those ribs drawn in. It's like you're doing that plank. Can you lengthen that right leg out? Bring that right leg to center and then lower your right foot back to the floor so you're in your downward dog. If you need to come forward, give yourself a little wrist zhuzh. Feel free to do so. And then when you're ready, bringing yourself up to your version of this, right? You could totally be doing this from hands and knees. Left leg, when you're ready, reaches up to the ceiling. Bend that knee, lift up through the thigh, and then start to open that leg out. So it's that top part of your knee that's trying to draw a little dot on the ceiling. Maybe the right knee requires a little bend. Remember, we're not turning off the muscles of the arms. Our rib cage is drawn in. Take one more breath here. As you breathe out, lengthen that leg, rotate your pelvis back to center, and then let's lower the legs back down. When you're ready, can you inhale, ripple forward into your version of your plank, whatever your setup is today. As you breathe out, gently lower yourself down to the floor. Let's open those hands wide. Let's tent our fingers and keep the toe mounds pressing down. This time, as you inhale, lift up, and then you use the strength of your arm to maybe guide yourself a bit higher up. We're going to rotate around to the left. Let the right shoulder lead the way as we lower down in sort of like a sideways twist. Inhale to ripple yourself back up to your version of upright. Let's turn around to the right, and then the left shoulder leads the way. Inhale to lengthen up. I have to use my full hand on the floor here today because that's where my shoulder's at, but if tented fingers work for you, that's fabulous. Bringing yourself up and open. Rotate, twist. Two more. Lengthening it up and out. Twisting around, melting down. One more time. Rippling it up over to the right. Left shoulder finds the floor. Inhale to lengthen all the way up nice and strong. Gently guide yourself to the floor. Now, can you press those hands into the floor? Maybe tuck your toes in. Can we push back up through that push-up? Lift our hips back up and back, downward dog. Big breath in, please. Exhale it out. Give those hips a little wiggle, wiggle. When you're ready, can you inhale, reach that right leg up again. As you breathe out, pull the right knee into your chest. Place the right foot to the floor. Let's stay up high on those back toes as we inhale, reaching up into our lunge. Exhale to sink a little bit deeper here. Now, if you need to give the back knee a bit of a bend because it feels happier for the pelvis, please feel free. We want to try to line up that back hip with the front hip. One more nice big breath in here. And then as we breathe out, let's bring it down and forward. Step back into downward dog or into hands and knees, whatever feels good for you. As you inhale, left leg is going to sweep up. As we breathe out, pull the left leg in, place the left foot down. Stay up nice and high on those back toes. Reach yourself up. Maybe a little bend in that back knee so we can level off the pelvis. Firing through the glutes, squeezing the legs together, the arms reach up. We're going to do this a few times. Breathe in here. As you breathe out, pitch it forward, step back, downward dog. So different versions of this. You could be down on hands and knees, step forward, reach up, a la like me on the floor. You could decide you don't want to use hands at all and just sort of go back and forth, right? With one leg if you don't feel super comfortable resting on your wrists, whatever feels good for you. And you could also be up in your downward dog. Wherever you are, can we take a nice big breath in, please? Exhale, stick your tongue outside out. Okay, inhale, right leg reaches up. Whatever version you're doing, feel free to pull the right leg forward, place the right foot down. Staying up on the back toes. If you're up in a lunge, let's inhale to be up here, and then exhale to plant those hands. Step back, downward dog. As you inhale, left leg reaches up. As you breathe out, pull the left leg in, plant the left foot back up on those right toes. Inhale, nice big reach here. Exhale, pitch forward, plant it down, step back, downward dog. Right leg, inhale to lift. Exhale to pull it in, plant the foot, high back toes. Now remember, you could just be switching side to side if that feels better. Just using your legs, plant back, downward dog, and no wrist necessary. Inhale to lengthen left leg up. Exhale, pull the left foot down. Woo, we're getting spicy. Reach the arms. Inhale, pitch forward, plant your hands. Let's do one more time each side. Inhale, right leg comes up. As we breathe out, we pull the right leg forward, plant through the foot, root through those back toes. Inhale up. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into your downward dog. One more time, left leg comes up. Exhale, pull the left foot forward up on the high back toes. Reach yourself up into your lunge. Take a breath in to be tall. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward dog. Inhale here all together to stay. Exhaling to stay. If you'd like to flow, option to flow. Inhale to ripple your spine forward, your version, but remember the arm muscles are on. As you breathe out, gently lowering your chest to the floor. Extension of your choice, lifting your spine up, and then exhale up and back, downward dog. Big breath in together, please. Big breath out. As you inhale, right leg is going to sweep up. As you breathe out, pull the right leg in, plant the right foot down, stay up in that high lunge. Ta-da! We're here. Maybe a little bend through that Back knee if needed to get a nice hip here. Shining those arms up, shining the center of your heart up. Enjoying a bit of work here, enjoying a bit of the spice factor. Can you maybe bend more into that front knee? Really feel that nice back leg. We're going to take a little tipsies forward. And as you tip forward, can you straighten that back leg? And then maybe it makes sense to start to lower your body. Maybe you have a block here. Left hand is going to come to the floor. Right arm is going to continue itself up until you're in a nice twisted lunge. Breathing in here. Breathing it out. Trying to watch to make sure the shoulders aren't rolling to our earlobes. We're bringing the shoulder blades on the back. We're hugging those legs in. Now options, your back knee could be down if you wanted to. Always ways to modify. One more time back in here. As you breathe out, circle that right arm back down. Plant your hand. Your choice to step back into a downward dog or hands and knees, whatever feels good. When you're ready, inhale, left leg is going to sweep up. As you breathe out, pull the left leg forward, plant the foot. Let's come up into that high lunge that we're all so familiar with by now. Hugging the legs in, maybe bend more into that front knee. Maybe a little dip in the back knee as we square off through the pelvis. Keeping our abs nice and contained here. Now, when you're ready, starting to pitch your body weight forward, but remember the legs still hug in. As you pitch forward, that back leg is staying really super duper active. Can you keep it nice and active as you continue your journey down? Right hand is going to find the inside of that left leg. Left arm is going to continue its journey all the way around until you're back up in that twist. Breathing in here. Breathing it out. And the reason we're always reminding ourselves of our breath is because our breath is our practice. Really, this is all here to breathe in multiple different postures and multiple different shapes to get as much energy flowing, as much circulation in our body as possible. One more breath in as you breathe out. Let's circle that arm all the way down, frame through the foot. And then let's step back into a plank. Take your breath in, firing up through those arms. Take your breath out. When you're ready, maybe dropping the knees as you lower your chest to the floor. Inhale, a little bit of extension or maybe a full up dog, and then push up and back, downward dog. Nice big breath in here, please, friends. Exhale it out. When you're ready, inhale, right leg is going to reach up. As you breathe out, pull the right knee in, place the right foot down, pause. Up in your high lunge, let's lengthen ourselves. Then right away, let's tip forward, circle the arms, left hand to inside right foot. Right arm is going to circle all the way up and around. Hugging those legs in, or maybe your back knee is to the floor here. Inhaling and exhaling, feeling that nice, sweet fire. Anyone else warm? I'm totally warm. We're going to take that top arm. We're going to circle it forward, and then it's going to keep circling. Our back toes are going to turn out. We're keeping a bent knee so that we can bring ourselves up into a warrior two. Bending into that front leg, hugging the feet in. So little bits of housekeeping here. Pinky toe edge side of your foot, parallels back end of mat, bent into that front knee, hug the legs in. Arms are searching, maybe palms up. Take your breath in here. Coming always back to that breath. And nothing is ever static, right? Like, yes, we're giving lots of squeezing and lots of tone, but it's like flowing and moving and thriving here. Pressing through that full foot, zip up through that front thigh. One more breath here. As you breathe out, can we maybe slide the back hand down? And I'm asking us on an exhale, like a nice empty breath. And then can you inhale to kind of come up a little bit? And then exhale, deepen it back. 2 more times. Inhale up a little bit. Toboggan right backhand, then more front knee. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale it down. Take one more breath in. As we breathe out, let's bring ourselves up. Ripple those arms down. Frame your foot. Your choice to flow, to take a child's pose, to take whatever shape feels good for you. Breathing in. As you breathe out, gently lowering to the floor. Inhale, upper body back bend of your choice. Remember those toes stay planted though. And then exhale up and back, downward dog. 3 breaths here, please. Inhaling. Taking whatever time, whatever movement you need. Inhaling. Remembering this is not a rest shape, it's just a home base. When you're ready, inhaling, the left leg is going to sweep up overhead. As we breathe out, pull the leg in, find that high lunge. We're here. Feeling that leveling of the hips, that foundation of the legs hugging in. And then when you're ready, starting to take that tip forward, lowering yourself down, place the right hand to the floor, unraveling through your chest. Nice twist here. Feeling that opening now, like maybe it's a little more possible. And then can we take the arm overhead? Top arm goes overhead. It's going to start to circle as we turn into ourselves. Pivot the back toes so that we're finding ourselves in our warrior two as we then bring ourselves, ooh, my hip just did a nice pop, pop, crunch, crunch. Find ourselves in our warrior two. Back thigh is active. Front knee is bent. Our warrior two, I just love the story of the warriors. It's so cool. And I'm definitely not a connoisseur of Sanskrit stories. So I'm not going to pretend like I know. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but warrior two, this is our searching warrior. This is our warrior that has been given their task, and they're like, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm of service. And that's why it feels so powerful, right? Because here we are rooted, being of service. Backhand is going to come to the back thigh as we inhale, and then as we exhale, let's take that exalted shape. A little bit different than maybe how we do sometimes. Inhale to come out of it just a little bit, and then exhale, deepen the front knee, deepen that toboggan ride. Inhale to come out just a little bit, and really think about that front knee shooting forward as our legs hug in. One more time, up just a little bit, exhaling it back. Take an inhale. As we exhale, let's windmill through those arms, stepping back into your flow of choice. Inhaling as we exhale, melting ourselves down to the floor. Inhaling to come up, back bend of your choice. Exhaling to push up and back, downward dog. 3 breaths. Inhaling in here. Exhaling it out. Maybe giving those hips a little wiggle waggle. Maybe pedaling out through the feet. When you're ready, can we lift the heels, bend the knees, look forward, and gently walk, step, or hop up to meet our hands. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhaling to melt it down. Let's do that again. Inhale, ripple. How much movement can you find in your spine here? Exhaling it down. One more time. Inhaling to ripple. Exhaling to lower. Press those feet through the floor as we gently ripple our spine all the way up to standing. Reach, 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 reach. And then hands down through our hearts. We're going to place our hands at our hips. And can we take our right leg out, and can we give our right leg just a little jiggle, jiggle? Then can we take our left leg, give our left leg a little jiggle, jiggle? Okay. I'm going to face you, and then I'm going to turn. So we're going to stand up nice and tall through our spines, left foot pushing through the floor. We're going to take the right leg and reach it out, and then you're going to keep your right leg out. Now, as we reach our right leg out, can we make sure we're not sitting into our left hip? We're lifting up really nice and tall. Right leg, woo, she says falling over. Right leg is going to turn out just a little bit like you're turning a key in a keyhole, and then turn it back in. Right leg rotates out. Right leg rotates in. Right leg rotates out. Right leg rotates in. And now this whole time, your right leg is going on this little rotation journey. Can we make sure all of the muscles, your quad is zipped up really nice and tight. You're thinking about your bum on your right side, even into your calf on your right side. They're all turned on. And then our left leg being our support leg. Can you see me falling over? It's because I'm totally like working really hard. That left leg is shooting down into the floor. Remember, we had that full foot press. Our left quad is zipped up, and we're trying to lift up and out of our hips here. I'm hoping you're starting to feel lots of leg stuff. Let's go for 2. Bring it back in. This one's different. Turn the leg out and then pause. Can you bend the knee and pull the right thigh, the right foot into the left knee as we start to sit back? If you have a wall close by, it might feel nice to hang on here. Flex through your foot. Super duper duper important. If you like hands, you can add hands, or they can come to your hips, they can come to your chest. And we're going to add a little bit of a pulse. So you're just going to come up just a little bit. This is going to be like so good. And then you're going to sit back down. Now, the lower you go, the more you're going to feel that right hip. Up just a little, and then exhale down. Now, this is an option always, right? If standing is not serving you, please feel free to roll onto your back. Bring your thighs up in this same position, but on your back. Let's go for 2. There's always a way. Pressing it up. One more time. Little sit back. Bring it up, and then can we push the left leg, reach the right leg out nice and long. Bring it down, shake it off. Whew. We're feeling all of the hip stuff, right? All of the hip goodness. Okay, let's go through the other side. My balance is like having a really struggling moment today. Pressing your right foot into the floor. Rooting through our energy in our bodies. And then this time your left leg is going to reach out, yeah? So left leg is out nice and long. Same little bit of business. We're just going to turn the left leg out and then turn it back to center. And then turn the left leg out and then turn it back to center. And this whole time you're turning, it's not a break. You're going to zip up through those thighs, even firing into your calf if you can. We're going to try to pull ourselves up out of our right hip. Our right quad is on, our right bum cheek is on, our right foot's pushing through the floor. Super duper active. From parallel to turned out. Bring it to center. 2 more. Turn it out. Bring it to center. 1 more time, turn it out and then pause. Keep the leg turned out, bend the knee. Can you place the ankle over the right knee as we start to sit down? Now again, if you have a chair or a counter or a wall, something you want to hang on to, feel free. If you prefer to roll onto your back, feel free to be there as well. If you'd like to add a hand support, you can, but let's not push on our thighs. Otherwise, hands can come to hips, to heart, to overhead, whatever feels good for you. If you'd like to add a little bit of drama to this, you're going to lift your hips up just a little bit and then sit them back down. Lift your hips up just a little. Remember, fire through that glute and then sit back down. 3 more. Up just a little and then sit back down. I'm feeling it too. 2 more. Up a little bit. Sit yourself back down. 1 more time. Up just a little bit. Sit yourself down and then let's powerfully push the floor away. Reach the left leg out. Squeeze, squeeze. And then bring it down. Nice job. Let's give ourselves a little shake it off, shake it off, shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. Standing sort of top-ish, top quarter of your mat. Squeezing those legs together. Can you sit your bum back? Reach those arms up overhead. And then you're going to sit down just a little bit. I'm going to bring my hands to my heart. And then sit down just a little bit. And then maybe your arms come forward. And we're just sort of testing the waters here. How much flexion can you find in your knees until you're all the way to the floor? Now, it doesn't have to be graceful. Feel free to make your way there however makes sense for you. We're going to plant our feet down. We're going to roll onto our backs here. And so we're going to take that shape we just worked and we're going to play with it for just the last little grand finale here. So feet are planted down into the floor. And as best as you can we try to level off our pelvis? So hips and pubic bone are flat in relation to each other anatomically. Yeah, not like fashion version, anatomy version. Feeling your feet pressing down, take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, we're going to scoop and roll our hips all the way up. Take a breath at the top. Now, this is not a heart opener. I would like us to not join our arms underneath us. I would actually like us to keep this shape quite contained. Take a breath in, and then as we breathe out, ripple, roll yourselves all the way down, scooping through your spine and releasing to pelvis. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, starting by scooping, just using the abs and then the glutes as we press down through our feet and reach our knees out and forward. Take a breath in at the top, and then as we breathe out, we're rippling from the top of our spine to the middle of the spine to the lower parts of our spine, finding an awareness of those inner thighs, bringing ourselves down to the floor. 2 more, scooping through our bellies, pushing the floor away, lifting up through the glutes, drawing the thighs forward. So just sort of alerting our hamstrings, yeah? We're mobilizing through our spine, alerting our hamstrings of what's to come. 1 more time, lift ourselves up. Okay, little bits of housekeeping here. We're trying to keep our pelvis nice and level. We're trying to keep those ribs drawn in. When you're ready, can you maybe roll up to your right toes? Can you maybe take those right toes and reach them overhead and forward? Or can you maybe take the right ankle and cross it over the left? Now, how much tricky is that going to be? Because you're getting a bit of a stretch here too. Stick your bum out, lower tap the floor, squeeze the glutes, lift up for 5. Your arms could be overhead if you can keep the pelvis. I can't, so I'm going to keep my hands down. 4, don't let that left thigh wander away. For 3, so much left inner thigh here. Right bum cheek, left bum cheek. 2, trying to keep that pelvis really nice and stable. Last 1, release the right leg, place it down, lower your hips 1 vertebrae at a time to the floor. Well, that was super fun. Let's totally do that again on our other side. Releasing through the pelvis. And then as you breathe out, scooping through the pelvis, pushing the feet into the floor, rolling ourselves up, we arrive. Thinking about all this housekeeping, right? Ribs drawing down, wide across the hips, right across the pubic bone. Feel the right inner thigh. And then when you're ready, maybe roll up to left toes. Maybe left leg reaches long, or maybe we find that crisscrossy shape Watching to make sure the pelvis doesn't do anything funky. Stick your bum out, lower it to tap towards the floor. Press the floor away, lift your glutes up for 5. Now, so much trickiness here because you're competing with compensation. You don't want to let your right thigh draw out to the side, but we don't want to let our left hip drop. So really find that right inner line of your inner thigh for 2. One more time. Release the right leg, place it down, roll yourself to the floor. Good job, team. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice rock side to side. Massaging through the low back as we start to bring our energy down. If you're enjoying the back rock, feel free. If you'd like to add a little bit through the legs, you're just going to let the legs draw away and then in towards you. Letting them take the weight forward. Just massaging through those hips. One more time. Scooting it forward. Bringing them in. Then let's go the opposite way, letting the thighs go around. In and around. One more time. Let's let those legs find center and then delicately with support, dropping them down. And that support could be your hands, it could be your abs as they find a twist to the right side of your mat. Left arm can come up overhead or out like a T or like a cactus, whatever feels good. You're welcome to turn your gaze to the left if you'd like. Calming that breath, maybe coming back to your purpose and intention for movement today. With support, that support could be your arms, it could be your abs, however active you're feeling, bringing yourself in and then over to your opposite side. Right arm can reach up overhead, it can come out like a cactus, bend your elbow like a cactus, reach your arm out nice and long. Whew. Those squats really got me going. Nice breath here. And let's keep the legs where they are. Let's gently roll ourselves over and up. So if there's any other shape you feel like you would like to take, please feel free to start collecting or moving in the way that you need. I'm going to start showing us our setup for our restorative shape today. So grabbing all the pillows and blankets, all that good stuff. So the first thing that we're going to do, as always, is change the texture that we're lying on. So if you have a nice cozy blanket, maybe just sort of line that out. We're not building a super high shape and we're not using blocks. So you don't have to worry, hopefully, about anything slipping and sliding. And then you want to decide where you'd like your head to be. I'm going to let my head be up here by this green plantaruski here, my money tree. And then my feet are going to go down this way. So I know I would like my head to have some delicious support. So I'm going to grab 2 pillows. You could grab like one, maybe like thicker bedroom size pillow. That's fine. And I'm going to put that at the top there for me. I'm going to grab some bigger cushions. Dun, da, da, da. And these are going to be for my knees. Now I'm quite short, so this is actually a really great size. That was very fortunate for me because when I pop my legs over, they sort of support my whole leg, which is again like a bit of a stroke of luck for me. So whatever you need to do to either tuck just underneath the knees or build a shape that's long enough so that your full leg is supported are your sort of 2 options here. I love a good full leg support because it just really allows like a lot of delicious melting to happen. And then you're just going to measure yourself out. Ooh, that was so good. Love me some restorative. Measure yourself out. So you want to make sure that they're far enough away that your torso is quite comfortable to rest. And now if you find yourself with your legs over your little tower here and you need a little bit of something for your feet, grab more blankets, grab more towels, and give yourself a nice little nook for your feet there too. We definitely don't want to leave them hanging. So making yourself down into whatever version of this feels comfortable for you. Now the next sort of bit of business, and this is a bit of a trick that you can do. So if you have multiple layers, take the bottom layer and bring it forward. So it's not just at your head and neck, it's right skating across the top of your shoulders. And then if you have a second layer, that's going to come underneath your head. So you have like a little bit of a bridge. Now, whether you have a blanket or a pillow, I've done this with both. It just depends how pliable they are, how I'm sure there's another word, but how movable they are. You're going to take the top edges and you're going to start to curl your blanket or your pillow in on itself. And you're essentially making yourself like a little head cocoon. Honestly, sometimes I do this at night if I can't sleep. I just start building myself a little head cocoon, and it's magic. And then what I'm hoping is, because your bottom pillow got pulled forward, we're not leaving the shoulders unsupported. They have something there too. I'm honestly already falling asleep. This is amazing. I would never fall asleep while we're teaching. Don't worry. Once you've sort of created the shape that you're looking for, starting to bring that energy down. If you would like to cover yourself in a blanket, please feel free. I'm going to show you a little cheat that is it's actually not a cheat, it's a trick. It's my favorite way to support my arms if they're not out. Sometimes it's nice to have your arms across your belly and you don't want them to get cold. So whatever it is you're using, we're going to make like a little burrito for our arms. So without the blanket, they're going to kind of do this, where they pull underneath your armpits and then they'll create a little bit of tight space, and you can always tuck them under your elbows. With the blanket, what that looks like is you kind of cover yourself, grab one side, pull it under your armpit, grab your other side, pull it under, give yourself a little boost, and you have a little blanket. Pretty cool, eh? It's nice if you're especially doing restorative by yourself and don't have someone to tuck you in. Like if we were in class, then someone could come in and do a little tuckity tuck tuck for you, but it's nice to know you can do that for yourself too. So bringing ourselves into our space, into our shape, into our restorative deliciousness. Breathing in and then letting that breath just out. If it feels right in your body, please feel free to start closing your eyes. If it feels right in your body, start to send little question signals out to see if there's anywhere that could do with a little bit more relaxing. A little bit more softness, a little bit more space. And that could be your jaw, could be the space between your eyebrows, space around your eyes. It could be your hips, it could be your back, maybe it's your fingertips and toes. And so as this little question signal lovingly travels to find things that need some extra permission, allowing your breath to be an expander for you. And as you inhale, feeling how your breath sort of carves out the shape underneath you. And as you exhale it, it allows you to sink into it a little bit more. Noticing the gaze underneath your eyelids and allowing that to soften as well. Softening our breath. Letting our breath be whatever it needs to be in our body right now. Feeling the sweet support of all of the structure you've created. And knowing that this structure is available so that everything else can just chill. Your muscles, ligaments, fascia melting away from the bone, getting heavy. Now, if you're comfortable practicing in silence, please feel free to continue that. I do have a chime that I like to play while we're in practice together, so hopefully that's okay. If you would like to stay nice and cozy and close out your practice yourself, please feel free to turn me off and I'll see you another time. If your intention is to close practice together, please know that I will be offering that as well. Wherever you are, can we take a nice deep breath in and exhale, sink a little bit deeper. using your breath to drop a little bit deeper. If your intention is to indulge here for a little while longer, please continue to do so. If your intention is to close, starting to bring your awareness back to your body without moving. And so maybe that requires a bit of breath. Maybe that requires a bit of conscious recognition. And if you could be exactly as you are, but take a picture up from above, how would you look right now? How would you look like you feel right now? And avoiding words that describe anything that could be related to judgment. And instead, choosing to describe the feeling, the look of the feeling. And knowing that this imprint is available all the time, at any time throughout your day or your evening. And so maybe coming back to that screenshot in moments where you need a gentle reminder of coming back into that imprint. If you'd like to start to deepen your awareness by a wiggle of eyebrows or jaw, a little twitch of fingers and toes, and maybe a big stretch overhead. Starting to bring a little bit of movement back in to our physical body. And when you're ready, gently making your way over onto any side will do. As we start to bring our physical posture a little more upright, there's many options. One invitation would be to keep your eyes open. Another invitation would be for your eyes to be closed. And so please feel free to accept whichever invitation feels good for you as we start to travel, as we start to journey upwards. Finding a resting shape that feels organic and perfect for you. And seeing if there's any translation between that soft imprint that you were just in to being a little more upright. Can we embody both at the same time? Giving your hands a gentle rub together to create a little bit of warmth, and then placing your hands over your eyes. Remaining eyes gently, softly shut. Can you take your finger pads and just give yourself a little massage through your hairline, maybe down and around your eyebrows, around your eyeballs, into your cheekbones, into your jaw, maybe around into underneath your head, your skull, maybe into your shoulders. And then journey those hands all the way back up until they close the eyes. Is there a possibility of fluttering the eyes open underneath the hands? And then gently sliding the arms down to give yourself a loving squeeze. Letting the hands fall to your lap, up or down, it's up to you. Taking a moment to feel this embodiment of duality, of the moving and the resting, of the going and the relaxing. Placing one hand at heart or heart center, second hand over that. I've been personally doing a lot of learning, as I'm sure we all are, but also unpacking what gratitude means, what it means to be grateful. And in environments where maybe that feels a little bit like more of a struggle. And I'm not meaning in any sort of like deep political way, but maybe just personally. If there are things personally that sometimes it feels really hard to feel grateful for. And the beautiful thing about movement is that I feel like if we're struggling to find something to be in awe of, the movement of our body, how our body works, is like such a good one. So if you're ever stuck, feel free to use that. And that doesn't have to mean big physical asana. That could be this simple act of blinking, the simple act of breathing, especially if you can breathe with ease. All these super important systems that exist within us that we don't even have to worry about because they're just so functionally running optimally. And so I am grateful to be able to move these amazing meat suits together. My gratitude is always that I get to do this and that we get to move together. I hope you have a fabulous rest of wherever the rest of your time today is taking you. And I hope to see you again soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you.